Greetings and welcome to a Monday edition of the Shotgun Start. It is November 24th. Andy, how we doing?
Brendan, it is Victory Monday, a worse for the wear Victory Monday, a throwback episode.
Worse for the wear? Did you come out of your shoes on Saturday?
I had a buddy that 40th birthday, so I just am hitting the 40th birthday circuit this year. So, we were lucky. I honestly, our babysitter called in sick. She got us a sub, but the sub imposed a curfew on
the parents.
The parents.
I love that. I mean, that's needed. You can't be.
I don't know if we would be podcasting if we didn't have that curfew. I might have called in sick, to be completely honest.
Oh, the ways the curfews changes from high school, your parents, now to your babysitter telling you need to be home by the circle of life here that we got going on. This is, the worst for the wears were always Sunday night. Early on, we were 7 years younger than we are now. And we'd still be kind of shaking the cobwebs off when it was time to record Sunday night. So this is a real throwback. All right. This is great.
Well, Victory Monday, too.
Are the Bears in first? I think, is that?
We are spending another week in first place. Nobody can overtake us. Are
the Lions losing as of this recording? What's going on? I've been out
I think
of pocket.
they're going to win in overtime, it looks like. But the Bears, 8-3.
Just ride it. Don't even ask questions. Just head down. Keep it humming.
The amazing thing, we've got a tough schedule ahead.
Mm-hmm.
If we could take care of business against the Browns, we have to win one other game. We get to 10 wins.
You're good. You're 10. You're good. You're in. I think. I mean, you're in. So, good. Congrats. I'm happy for you. There have been many teams in my life where, like, you kind of know they're smoke and mirrors. I don't know if fraudulent's too derogatory a word, but you kind of dig in and you get defensive, but deep in the recesses of your mind, it's going to come like crashing bad. Like I talked myself into Mo Williams being like legit all-star. Like there's teams like we can do this. And but it's still fun. You got to ride it, right? You're winning is better than losing, and ride it.
This is not a good team. They aren't good, but they're really fun. It's the most fun I've had watching Bears football in quite some time. So since the Mitch Trubisky team with Matt Nagy.
How was Caleb today? Typical Caleb, like kind of made it happen. Scotch tape.
He was good. He's
okay.
good. I think he's not getting a lot of help from his receivers, which is kind of a bummer.
I was at his high school stomping grounds doing a tour with my kid today. His number was up on the wall.
Way.
I was like, we're going to talk about him probably Victory Monday later. So
I mean, a big win also for the big man from Finland. A big win for Finland. He's hoping to inspire generations of Finland golfers. Is he the most famous Välimäki now?
Absolutely. More troubling though, Andy, than I think. Getting our ass handed to us in Ryder Cups every year now, or every other year. Seems we were absolutely getting slaughtered in the strokes gained absolute units, like category. Like Europe is just crushing us. And here we go. We have another one. What happened to the big burly American boys that would come out on our golf courses and actually win instead of just, spray it everywhere? Välimäki is a unit. We've been up close with them. Full-fledged unit, no exaggeration. He's not just bigger than the littler guys on tour. He's a big boy, and he wins your RSM Classic. Emotional, Sammy Välimäki. I think seemed like most emotional about what it means to be the first Finn. Is that the right term? Finn, I believe.
I think that's right.
Finish to win on the PGA Tour and maybe he's inspiring generations of. It got to be a tough golf scene up there, just with the weather. But Sweden's producing some. So.
I think there should be just an exhibition match. Exhibition matches are all the rage, but there should be one that is a round robin match play between Välimäki, Ludwig, and Hovland for Scandinavian dominance.
You probably should put a Dane in there. I think they count. We've had this discussion. This is a rehash. You
have
throw
we
a
had
Dane.
this?
RNP. Yes. We've talked about this. Denmark is technically considered, and then I think every now and then Iceland comes in and is actually considered Scandinavian as well. and they have the kid at LSU, the superstar.
Sweden, Norway, and Denmark.
Okay. So you got to get RMP or some other Dane in there.
Technically, Finland isn't part of it, apparently.
Yeah. We've gotten the whole breakdown. They all like look askance at each other for one reason or another. Like the Finns are all, one of them's really, everybody's wealthy in one of those countries. Might be Norway. And then like the Swedes are insufferable about this, but they hate the Finns because of the, they all look askance at each other for one reason.
I think just being a Norway citizen is worth like millions of dollars. Is from what I gather. It's one of the best citizenships to have.
I think Kristoffer Reitan comes from, he's like from the Sears family of Norway or something. I might have my wrong, Kristoffer, or more on Norwegian, but yeah, it's a big win.
These things should happen. There should be little gaggles like this. Like there should be like a Texas versus Oklahoma match of like guys from Texas and Oklahoma.
Gets a little heated, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, there should be all sorts of stuff. None of this, we have too many frivolous. This is not me throwing shade at any of our exhibitions. We have a lot of frivolous exhibitions in this sport. The Shorties Tito par 3 thing coming up.
I can't keep up.
The Skins game, which nothing tells me an exhibition's going to be boring than scripted trash talk.
I missed that. Was
calls.
That on social media this weekend or something?
Yeah, okay. It's just like, can we just not do that anymore?
What I'm most excited about for the Skins game is see Panther National, the great curtain raising on Panther National for public consumption. That's what I'm kind of excited about. But
I think it might be kind of fun. There's a lot of water. Yeah, it could get windy.
I want to see some of the housing developments, the homes going up, the footers around the 8th green, all that stuff. Should be good. We don't have a lot to say about RSM, I feel like.
I feel, well, it was actually, I thought it was pretty compelling. The tour did a legit job. Anytime the tour could get Kevin Price involved with storytelling, you just set him in there on a week like this. Kevin's he's done the most important golf journalism this decade with what he did with Kuchar on the Monday after the Wyndham.
His half hole.
Kuchar went out and finished.
Half hole he had to finish, yep.
But I think Kevin, for those that don't know, he was the longtime Korn Ferry Tour media guy for the tour.
Might still be. Kind of a hybrid, but yeah, might still be.
And he knows all these guys' backstories, all of them. Deep knowledge. And, this week where you have jobs on the line and you get him asking questions, I think it just amplifies some of the rich stories and it gets these guys emotional. I think one of the other aspects of it is when, if you go to a Korn Ferry Tour event, it's a little bit more of a tight-knit tour than the PGA Tour in the sense of with staff and players, because it's not the circus. There isn't, not everybody has 20-person entourages. So there's a lot more, I would say, relationships that are forged with players and media with the tour media people that cover the Korn Ferry Tour. And so I just thought from the sense of like, there were just some awesome quotes of like Patrick Rodgers talking about how he's totally at peace. It's always this big question with Rodgers, or not question, big talking point with Patrick Rodgers. Oh, he hasn't gotten it done. What a disappointment after his incredible career at Stanford. The high expectations for him to come out and dominate on the PGA Tour. And, he hasn't won. And he is, in the final group and saying, I'm completely at peace with whatever happens tomorrow. I'm in a great spot with my golf game and in my life. And I thought that was just a glimpse into the person that, and that we don't always get.
Yeah. I think you can get some of this compelling storytelling. I agree. I don't think it's think there's better ways to put it on a bigger stage. I think having it finish like literally during the witching hour of a late Sunday NFL week before Thanksgiving. Same, quite frankly, goes for the CME Group Tour Championship. I've like had Golf Channel on today, and I don't know, it's 4:00, and like everybody wants to watch the end of the 1:00 games. Are people watching CME post game coverage? No, I think there's probably a better way to have that finish, but you can't run scared from football all the time. That this feels like when you could. But I agree with you. The storytelling was great. I found,
You know who seems to be running scared from football, if you believe Harris?
who Rolap.
Rolap.
Yeah. Well, he knows the football. I mean, did you see Davis Love III's comments on RSM Classic?
I did not.
This is, I believe it was Gary Smits, our old friend Gary Smitter, who had he wrote the original Global Home breakdown of how many conference rooms and the pizza ovens. He's the local writer in Jacksonville. Talked to Davis Love III. This is an article on Golf Week. Love firmly believes that the best elements of the RSM Classic, a strong and loyal title sponsor, one of the most iconic courses on the PGA Tour, at one of the nation's top resorts.
What's he supposed to say? He's the consulting architect there. He redesigned the plantation course. And
this is the writer. This is the writer. This is the written text. This is not in quotation marks.
Okay.
Love firmly believes the best elements, a strong and loyal. I just got to say, when you lead off with the title sponsor, that's an antiquated view of the PGA Tour. When that's the first thing. So this is Love himself. Most iconic course on the PGA Tour, one of the nation's top resorts, fair, and charitable donations that are projected to reach $50 million this year will work in the tournament's favor in the future. There was nothing about golfers, like history,
the tournament, the
finishes,
drama that the tournament is presented.
Quote, we always brag that they're the best sponsor on the PGA Tour. We're not just saying that to be nice. They're an incredible partner. I can see that. That's great. If we had a great sponsor for this podcast, that doesn't mean we just get to keep talking every hour, every 3 days a week. I mean, I guess we could pay ourselves, but that doesn't make the show good, bad, or indifferent. That's an antiquated view of the PGA Tour. It's like, we got a great title sponsor. That's not going to move Brian Rolab an inch or the Strategic Sports Group an inch. Of course, money in matters, but that doesn't make a product or a tournament worthwhile. Quote, we celebrated 15 years last year, and now we're on to our next 15. Now, that is a bold proclamation. We just went over the impact, $48 million in charity our first 15 years. We have great success here. Our partner, RSM and Sea Island, and all our friends here supporting us. We're excited to kick it off in the 16th year. He said RSM officials have, quote, taken ownership of the tournament. They fully, entirely love this week and the weeks leading up to it. It's the core of what they do and why they do it. So from a stewardship and giving standpoint, my confidence is pretty high. They want to maintain that because that's the fabric of their company and relationships. Couple that with Davis and his team, and it's a perfect fit. My hope is nothing changes. Nothing changes. Absolutely nothing. 15 years, head down, just go.
Can I ask you an earnest question?
Please. I would hate for it to be unearnest.
Would you be more interested on November 23rd watching a Scandinavian shootout to determine who the best Scandinavian golfer is?
I would love that.
Or the RSM?
I would Scandinavian shootout sounds awesome. We get a little some sociologists talking about the geopolitical differences and what socioeconomic differences. I feel like I'm learning stuff. I would love that. So anyways, I'm not meaning to pop them. I thought it was moderately interesting, but this is just...
It seems like you're meaning to pop them.
It's been
your agenda for years to eliminate this tournament. You're going to be the day, if it doesn't make the 15 years, the first thing you're going to do is dig up this Gary Smith article
Smitter
and rehash you're going to be dancing all over its grave.
That's not true. I love charity, and I would hate to see 48 million in charity also be lost. I don't want that to go. when you start talking about sponsors, in and of itself, why this is, considered good is you got to look at a few more of the aspects there. Either way, compelling stakes. I don't know if anybody watched it. 101. You talked about some of Patrick Rogers at peace. How about this perspective? We got all these
Lee Hodges.
We got all these mules crying and shouting about, I want mine, Chris DeMarco, I need to play for more. Lee Hodges, now he gave this quote to Shupak before he got completely jammed into the ether. It ends up 101. Max McGreevy bombs in a putt on 18, shifts the whole balance. Lee Hodges goes to 101, misses his card. But on Saturday with Shupak, he said, quote, I have no pity for anyone losing their card in 2026. Little did he know it would end up being him that was first man out. He says, I have no pity for people who don't, for going from 120. So a guy who gets it. We got to be more cutthroat. 125 to 100 is good, and I have no pity for anyone who makes it. I'm from Ardmore, Alabama, and I'm playing on the PGA Tour for 4 years, and I have a win. Like, no one would have ever given me that when I was 10. I want to obviously keep it going. I love to add more to my resume, but it's an awesome ride. And so, yeah, I have no pity for anyone who misses. And he ends up being 101 out. I love that. He apparently is working on a golf course. Canebrake, does that sound? Somewhere in Alabama. He's working on some golf course, Lee Hodges. So, maybe he shifts some more focus to that. So I don't know if I'm going to ruffle feathers.
He's 101. He's going to play a lot.
He's going to get a lot of starts.
That's the thing. We make such a big deal of 100. I think like 125 still more important. That means like you just don't know anything that's going to happen. But yeah, the perspective was quite refreshing.
I don't know if I'm going to ruffle some feathers, but the guys that come in here and kind of feel sorry for themselves, I have no pity for you because you played it. You know what I mean? You played every shot this year, same way as me. I am where I am because of my golf. Not anybody else's golf. Kind of a great perspective when you get the guys complaining about that. So tough break for Lee Hodges. He will still play quite a bit. You want to talk about standings that also don't matter?
Should we do bubble watch?
Please, we can do it. These standings don't matter.
I wanted to ask you, what's the biggest story from the fall outside of Michael Brennan and the winners?
I mean, the playing conditions at Butterfield. Like one thing I remember.
I thought you were going to go with number 61.
Well,
I was trying to tee you up.
You want more fake standings. You want standings that don't actually mean anything with no actual consequences. We put a big spotlight on this maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago. The Aon Next 10 gets you into the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am, not the T-Mobile, not the Verizon, the AT&T Take the Pledge Pebble Beach Pro-Am. And
first signature event of the year.
Genesis, right? Yes, Invitational, the first two. Well, Jordan Spieth, who fell firmly in the Aon Next 10 zone to start the fall, 56, started towards 53. We said, shouldn't he play? Oh, wait, he doesn't have to play. He's an AT&T ambassador. He's got that sponsors exemption just waiting for him, which is, the trickle-down effect of sponsors exemptions. Have one of your most marketable players, could be a windfall for your fall events. Like, it just corrodes the entire system in little bitty ways that maybe you don't think we're shouting too much about it.
They just add up over time.
Yeah.
Paper cuts here and there.
Jordan Spieth, who's been on a milk carton essentially since Memphis, not interested in playing. Jordan Spieth ends up 61, so he did tumble just outside. One ahead of Patrick Rogers.
You know what happened?
Sneaks in ahead of him.
McGreevy's bomb bumped Hodges and bumped Spieth.
61.
You know what the difference between Max McGreevy at number 60 and Jordan Spieth at 61?
What was
this? Is their FedEx Cup points. McGreevy finishes with 927.601. Jordan Spieth finishes with 926.638.
So
less than a point. A single point. A single made cut.
Could have gone to Cabo. Could have gone to the Bay Current. Could have gone to Black Desert. Could have done any number
Bermuda.
of things. Could have gone to Bermuda. I mean, it's interesting. He's 61, but he will be, barring some injury or some unforeseen circumstance, he will be at the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. I'd have to think so. Patrick Rogers, who you talked about his perspective, finished 62, so also just missed coming in the back door of that Aon top 10 or next 10. Any other bubble boys around the 100? Carl Phillips, who already had his card. We know that from winning. 101 is Lee Hodges.
Kanaya stays in.
Castillo shoots 62 on Sunday, just misses 102. I think the McGreevy putt also jammed him, so he's 102. Celinda 106, Lipsky 107, Fishburne 1. Homa, Tommy Kim. These don't matter. I mean, yeah, they don't. They're good. They're good. So, I just think there's a better time and way to do it. So we'll see. But don't want to ruffle.
I just don't know. I don't know how. I hear you. I would agree. There's a better time, better way to do it. But I actually don't know how you do it. How do you have a schedule? I don't think it's something on the golf calendar has to go up against football.
Yeah, totally. I agree. Maybe it's January. Maybe
this is probably the right thing to go up against football with.
Why can't it be like Wednesday, Sunday to Wednesdays in January if we're moving post Super Bowl?
I think the ratings are still Who's going to watch RSM on a Wednesday at 3:30 Eastern?
No, I don't disagree. I just think doing it so deep into November is kind of not ideal. But
maybe if they condense the schedule, if you keep pulling on the Harris English thread from earlier this week, and for those that missed it, he said that he basically said that they're kicking around the idea of a 20 event PGA Tour, and best players, big money, big points, that would be the idea. And if you did that, would the bottom tour be just Korn Ferry PGA Tour? And would this type of event actually be just the promotion event, the end of the line of who's getting promoted? And then does it have, I think it has more identity when somebody's being promoted than when it's like who's hanging on.
Right.
I think that actually has more juice.
Some sort of new life, the powerful. It's an interesting dilemma. I don't know if there is an ideal situation, but I do know there's an ideal situation for your waistline, and that's at Mobjack.com. Mobjack, right. Mobjak.com. We have a fried egg page as well. It's offering,
it's a Black Friday deal.
Early Black Friday. Yes. SGS listeners and readers exclusive access to their best discount of the year with no minimum purchase required. Fried Egg 20% off your entire order, whether it's one belt or 10. I think you could go in there. These guys know style. There's nothing in there where I'm like, ugh, where you kind of, usually even a good brand or good store, there's something just won't work. For me, it's often something that's black. I never really like black clothes, like, black shoes. For me, though, every belt in there, you can get 10, you get 20. They're all pop in one way or another, mix and match. Use Fried Egg 20. You get 20% off. This is American made by American craftspeople. These people are belt experts. They've been in the game, around the game, know what they're doing. I've had my Mobjack on all day or all weekend. Mix and match with jeans, chinos, great for golf, highest quality stuff.
I gave a talk over the weekend, and I wore my Mobjack belt with a jacket. I dressed it up. I think that you wear it with jeans, but then I wore it with a jacket, and somebody was like, "Where'd you get that belt?"
Were they really? Are you? I'm dubious.
Honestly,
that's a real
earnest, honest thing here.
All right.
Friday 20. Where'd you get that belt? I was like, well, funny you say that. This is made by craftspeople.
Fried Egg 20 is an earnest, honest code. It gets you real 20% off at Mobjack with no C. That's Mobjak. We get some sponsors that, like, when they sign on, they're like, God, this is right in our wheelhouse. I want this product for myself. Mobjack is absolutely, unequivocally one of those. Great belts. And now you get 20% off with Fried Egg 20. All right, where should we go next? Should we go to the LPGA? You want to do Saudi International? Jose Ballester,
Sure.
the Rays Creek Piss Bear, Jose Ballester wins the Saudi International.
The urinator.
The urinator. He wins the Saudi International. I think that's his first pro win. Obviously went right from AM college right into Fireballs, organization, and goes and beats not exceptional, but solid. There were a lot of real pros in that Saudi International field. Your Asian tour, he beats Surratt by 3 there. Out there. Dick Bland, Mean Dean Burmeister, Tyrrell Hatton. Anthony Kim shot his highest round of the week was 70. So just finished T5. Congrats. Good on Anthony Kim. Quite honestly, that's crazy. Did not see that coming.
He might be back.
Maybe, hopefully. Doesn't seem like it, though. Graduating from the International Series rankings to LIV Golf, and this just could be the deal that puts LIV over the top. Scott Vincent is back, baby. Scott Vincent has wandered in the wilderness of the International Tour.
Did you see the tweet?
No, maybe. What did it say? We're back.
It's something like the comeback
is complete.
Scott Vincent's back on LIV. It came from LIV. And it made, they celebrated it like Michael Jordan coming back to the league.
I'm back, baby. Scott Vincent.
Come back like Michael Jordan wearing the 4-5. Scott Vincent's back.
He will be joined by Yosuke Asaji, who is the other International Series graduate. So Scott Vincent, Yosuke Asaji are your 2 graduates after the closing of the Saudi International. We have a little more hot stove action.
Big hot stove. I can't believe we didn't see this trade coming, Brendan. There's so many signs. I gotta get all over my LIV insiders that are, feeding me trade rumors.
Abraham Prancer is going from Fireballs to Torquay. The Mexican national player, from Fireballs to Torquay. After Mito was relegated, I just honestly lost track of Mito. I didn't know he was relegated. He's out. So he's off Torquay. Answer's in.
Mito's, honestly, I think Southern Hills 18th hole might have ruined Mito's career.
Never coming back. Filling Answer spot on the Fireballs is Luis Masaveju, who played some half season. Now he gets called up. His 2-way or 10-day contract has been bumped up to a full-time deal, Masavejo. So he had a half season last year, full season now.
What kind of compensation did they get, though, for Answer? Do you think they got cash considerations?
No,
Future first?
I think it's all a sham. I think it's all bullshit. And they just move names around on a sheet of paper. And Answer's over.
It's such an unserious league. The team competition. I still think that team golf could work. Could be the greatest thing for golf as a television product. The problem is this league has just ruined it, and it'll never be given another chance because of how poorly run LIV Golf is, and how they just fumbled a opportunity to actually, the team golf component of this league could have actually, they talk about changing golf. It was actually the one fundamental thing that could have changed golf, and they just have completely screwed the pooch. And they just they're clowns. This hot stove action is just so funny. I mean, when these deals come through, I just cackle when I see them.
I'm getting across my desk, I guess in his post-game presser, Sammy Valimaki says he could have played in the NHL if his national team would have picked him for hockey. I love that. He could fit.
Well,
he's already done his mandatory military service.
Maybe he's the best hockey player in his family.
He might be.
Wonder what Juuso Valimaki's doing this year.
The Yeti or whatever they're
PJ-less
called.
today.
I know. PJ's at the Giants game, Giants-Lions game. Just kid goes to more sporting events. He's
busy,
at WWE one day. He's at the Red Wings the next. Lions game. He's great. He's just a sports enthusiast. Getting back to hot stove real quick. We're doing more Juuso.
Juuso's been playing. Yeah,
he's back. He's off his like double ACL or whatever it was.
No, I don't know. Yeah, well, I don't think he's played this year.
Doesn't
look like. I'm not really sure though.
More LIV hot stove. The team's kind of a joke. Laurie Cantor, the recanter. Recanted. He's like flip flop. He's been a magic stick. Goes back to the Euro Tour, plays the players, gets back on the PGA Tour, then graduates or whatever, gets the top 10 DP World Tour status, gets back to the PGA Tour full-time status, and now apparently is thinking about going back to LIV. And unsubstantiated rumor, Andy, unsubstantiated, not substantiated. Want to be clear.
This is unsubstantiated.
LIV apparently had wandering eyes for one Marco Penji. But the magic sticks, I don't know if they had enough cash to come up to secure Penji. I mean, they blew it all on these veteran maximums and Stenson and Poulter and Westy. So apparently they made a run at Penji. And so a clear strategy for LIV seems to just look at that top 10 list of guys who could go to the PGA Tour. They did McKibben last year and pick off who they can. They maybe made a run at Penji, allegedly. Maybe, apparently, according to Josh Carpenter's report, they might get a second recant of the recanting with Laurie Cantor.
That'd be incredible.
And
I kind of want it to happen just because I want the man to just keep going between tours.
That would be incredible. Working his way back after 2-year bans, then he gets there and he flips again.
How many times can he do it?
It's not a bad strategy. I don't think it's going to make LIV $1 billion, but just try to pick off some of these top 10 guys who might get dual status. That said, when's the last time LIV got like a truly like pretty good American golfer? It's been like, I get Caleb Surratt. They had the first batch when they started with DJ, and I guess Brooks was a little later. But like Victor Perez, Marco Penji in or out, Cantor coming back and forth. I think I know they're a global tour allegedly, and I'm going to get bots yelling at me from Australia.
I don't know. The bots are kind of dead. I think because they switched to 72 holes. I think they lost all their loyalists.
They lost the base. They lost the base on that flip flop. It's like so Republicans suddenly supporting Obamacare or something. They just abandoned the principles. But I think to work, you have to get some like top American players, right? I don't know who that would be. Michael Brennan, Johnny Kiefer. You can't just do the top Euro grads.
I mean, that's a great question. When was the last American they got?
I'm not trying to be jingoistic here.
Brendan Steele was pretty late, right?
Come on.
I'm just saying
Kevin
the last
Steele,
American.
Any Steele is not changed. No. I love anyone named Brendan, my fellow Brendan, but like, come on. He's not changing the fortunes of LIV. That's not a model for anything. I don't think the top 10 DP guys is bad strategy.
I think one of the crazier things about this podcast and the history of it over the years of talking golf If we replayed Matt Wolff's career 10 times or 100 times, could it have gone any worse than it's gone?
Without an injury, really, of any like catastrophic injury of any kind. God, he was such the toast of the town, the funky swing on that Oklahoma State reality show that was on golf, like Driven or whatever that was, Drive.
Yeah, the Ricky produced.
Yeah,
Oklahoma.
Man, it's too bad.
Like this is like when a quarterback gets drafted to the Browns. Was Matt Wolff going to LIV?
Yeah,
he almost won at Harding Park. He almost won that major
on the PGA. Yeah, it was. There was a question. Was like Morikawa, Hovland, and Wolff. It was like which one? That was a real thing. Maybe he could come. Wingfoot. Shit, he almost won Wingfoot. He was in the final group.
He did almost win Wingfoot.
Anyways, so that's my LIV minute. Oh, one more unsubstantiated rumor for LIV. A little bit of Monday chuckles. Short week. Give everybody a little chuckle. Unsubstantiated rumor. LIV. They had a GM summit recently where they brought all the managers. And I don't think these are the players, the captains. It's more of like, I want to make sales for cleeks and magic sticks and figure out our budget and all this stuff. Unsubstantiated rumor. Apparently to build camaraderie and rapport and collegiality amongst the GMs. They did a human pyramid at these meetings. And this confused me. I was like, what is that? Like the cheerleading thing? And it was told, yep, exactly like the cheerleading thing. So these GMs, these businessmen are doing some sort of like cheerleading maneuver, gymnastics maneuver at their GMs, and I heard it was not met well. It was a disaster. Did not go well. There was low energy, low enthusiasm, and this is unsubstantiated. But the idea of like some of these business meetings where you get in a room, we're going to build sort of partnership, and they come up with the biggest mumbo jumbo, like trust falls, like all this other, but the more of the intellectual activities. A human pyramid, I've heard, was happening maybe at some recent LIV summit, but maybe behind closed doors they were trying to figure out who's going to get Penji.
I don't think I'd get anywhere near being elevated into a human pyramid. If I had to go up on a top, I don't think I'd trust my fellow colleagues.
I wouldn't either. But one thing I would trust is my away travel suitcase. I 100% trust in that. We have unsolicited endorsement. When we started doing away, we got a lot of feedback. Oh, these guys are money. Awaytravel.com/friedegg. Awaytravel.com/friedegg. You get 10% off your first order at Away. This person reached out to me. He's like, you're with Away. I have some advice, or I have some feedback on the product if you would like it. I said, sure, send it along. This is unsolicited, totally real, in my mentions, in my messages. I've been an airline pilot for 26 years, and up until about 9 years ago, used the regular old non-upright roller suitcases. I was laying over in San Francisco once and happened to walk by the Away store and decided to go in. The aluminum carry-on caught my eye, and I couldn't resist picking one up. The wheels and maneuverability were a revelation. We've talked about those wheels. I couldn't believe how much better it was than dragging around a two-wheeled bag. I used it on a family trip to Europe, and my wife liked mine so much she demanded her own, so we bought her one too. As a pilot, I travel more in a year than most people will travel in their entire lives, so it can be very hard on luggage. After about 8 years of dragging this bag through all sorts of weather, up and down curbs, into the backs of hotel shuttles, and basically anything you can imagine, my bag developed an issue where the handle wasn't retracting as easily as it should have. I contacted Away and explained the issue and asked if they had a replacement part. They said the bag fell under the scope of their limited lifetime warranty, and they sent me a brand new bag. This is a company that not only makes great products, they back them up. I'm obviously under no obligation to write this glowing testimonial, but I've been completely satisfied with everything about my experience with Away. That's from a true travel pro, a pilot who's just zigzagging all over the place.
Listen, I would say the same thing about I've I have a carry-on that I've just beat to crap. I was talking to a friend yesterday. He asked me how many legs I'd done this year. I'd done 60 legs on flights. And
Wow.
it's the thing is just awesome. They have the durability. Like, you want to, if you invest in a product, and my wife a couple years ago bought like these fancy good a girly suitcase for herself, like nice suitcase, and the zipper broke like literally like 2 years in.
Yeah.
Not a lot of use.
Zipper's
And here
important on
I've
a
got this
suitcase.
away that just goes through, just similar to the Pilot, a hell
Yeah.
with where I'm not really, I'm pretty careless with my suitcase, and like, I'm not trying to like, I'm pretty rough with it, and the thing still is just about as good as it was the day I got it.
You can go to awaytravel.com egg. You get 10% off your first order there at awaytravel.com/fried egg. A great suitcase. This is what they focus on. Big travel coming ahead. Go to Away Travel. It's also a good gift, right? An actual practical use gift that people don't buy a lot for themselves all the time. awaytravel.com/fried egg. 10% off.
Mito Pereira packing his suitcase.
For
where
what?
do you think he's playing next year?
The international tour, the Asian tour, I would imagine. Right? Trying to work their way.
Yeah.
You see, Schneider Jans is completely like blackballed. He's got like a 2-year ban for being like a reserve
wild
player. Kind of intense. So, all right, that's LIV Golf Minute. Human pyramids, Penji rumors. Let's get to the LPGA. Your winner,
CME.
the CME Race to the Globe, CME Group Tour Championship winner is Gino Didakul. She wins by 4. Wins a money list. Can we stop with like sets of money record, like these big all caps headlines? Didakul sets new money record. Like, it's just inflation the way it goes. She won $4 million. She won back to back now at the CME Championship down there in Naples. Wins 3 times this year. I believe she's the only repeat winner. She broke the streak, then won 3 in a row. Number 1 player in the world. Appropriate, tour championship winner. Absolutely had the best year on tour. Probably could have won more. Maybe should have won more. Wins this one. Not particularly close. Breaks Annika Sorenstam's season-long scoring record. I think it was like 68.68. Beats it by, half 0.05 of a shot somewhere in there. So a new season-long scoring record for Didakul. Great season, deserving of the CME Tour Championship.
And only 22 years old.
She's young.
I think this is something that you could get excited about with women's golf is maybe on your way to a dominant superstar. Obviously, the big thing that needs to happen is major championship wins.
Yeah. She's just close on a couple occasions.
Yeah. Was close at Evian this year, but
yeah.
But the performance that made, knocking down a couple majors, and you might have a star that could be around for the next, few years.
Not the biggest hitter in the world, but enough, and one of the great seasons. LPGA, this is like a good winner. This is a good person to go out on. Your best player wins your season-long event. Feels like they have some momentum with Craig Kessler. Like they had an issue. It was not a good season for the LPGA in terms of just marketability, major championships. Obviously, you had the turnover at the top. It does feel like Kessler is pretty sharp and focused, and I guess aggressive, unrelenting, energetic, whatever term you want to use, in terms of this is a big deal to him. And he's obviously come out with different TV deals, sponsorship deals, moving some venues. So that's good. It feels like LPGA after a bad year might have a little bit of momentum. Now, the one thing I point out, in the same way that some of these like college athletics programs are dealing with, is a guy like Craig Kessler, who's, I don't know if he's 40, he might be 40, and is really good at what he does. or seems to have a good profile, a lot of like positive momentum out there in the ether, is he, I'm not suggesting he's moving on to the next job, but he becomes an attractive leader in sports.
Yeah.
And so you build all this momentum and you get this guy. Look, he's been there like 5 months. I'm not suggesting that he's moving on, but that will always be a challenge for the LPGA. But it feels like he's kicking ass right now, and there's some momentum for him.
This is reminiscent of everybody complains about Illinois basketball coaches and Brad Underwood. People complain about, and it's like, well, he's kind of perfect because I don't think he's a profile coach that's going to get a Duke or a Kansas job. It's a weird thing for organizations where the LPGA is absolutely a stepping stone to bigger and better things. Like many leagues are. You could make an argument that you could make an argument that outside of the big four jobs in sports, which the MLB, the NBA, the NFL, and all of these things are stepping stone jobs, right? I think like Mike Wan's a perfect example, and he may have been trying to get another job. Who knows? USGA might not be his holy grail, right? So I think that is like the thing is that's hard for any league that's not at the very top.
Yeah. So it does feel like they've got momentum, though, and take it while you got it. Take it while you got him. I don't want to suggest he's Lane Kiffin and he's going to be on to the next one, going to Baton Rouge or something.
I think he's got to do like a couple years before a job comes anyway.
Totally.
So.
Well, he's been a lot of he's good. He gets offers quickly, it seems like, if you look at his timeline. But he has a lot of momentum. Seems like LPGA is in a much better place for next year compared to what they just went through. Again, don't think it's great to be doing your big tour championship on the middle of like 1 o'clock window on November 23rd, but you got to play sometime. And I don't know, if you're going to play in the fall, you're going to be up against the NFL or football no matter what. So congrats to Gino on her big win. All right, I think that does it. You got anything else this Monday edition of the Shotgun Start? We have Black Friday is ongoing. Should probably note that. At the Pro Shop, Fried Egg Pro Shop.
Awesome stuff in there.
Started last Tuesday. Yeah, going through the second BF sale. BF sale gets you 20% off. If you're a Fried Egg Golf Club member, that's 25% off with your regular code that you should know and have, but reach out to us if you need it. The book and golf bags are excluded. We have so many hats, polos, pullovers, layers, vests, Andy hoodies. Every purchase of $250 or more will be entered into a raffle for free entry into one of our events. So if you spend over $250, you get an auto raffle ticket in to get a free spot in one of our events. So that's BF sale. BF sale gets you 20% off. Pro Shop is looking good. Support your small independent golf media company. Get something good, classy. And that will support the work we do next year. All right. I think that does it. Thank you for your continued support of the Shotgun Start. We'll be back with, I believe, Urine Review. Is that what's next, Andy? Are we tiptoeing into Urine Review? All right. For your Thanksgiving travels this week. Talk to you then.